Let's see, where are we up
8th of
to?
August, Rabbi Levitt, Sefer Chofetz Chaim.
We're talking about Shidduchim over here. And we just finished up to Sif Zion. It's on approximately on page 150, 151 in your standard version.
That's where my marker is.
Great.
Me too.
I think we're the bottom of page 150, a few lines like in the middle of the last paragraph.
No, we got up to 7 on 151. Where we said if each party is cheating each other, you can't say anything to either of them.
Right, I have a little marker on
It's
the last part of page 150. We're under ordinary circumstances without investigation, one cannot automatically permit himself to hurry and inform the content of the deception. That's the only marker I have. Maybe we did get to 7.
Yeah, that's what the Mishnah Berurah said over here. I mean, the Chofetz Chaim. Keinenu re'os, our eyes see. This is the way it is. Ki harbe mehem ein mekaimim. All the promises about the gelt before the chasna, they are campaign promises. In Cain, Sulo Shayak Bo Ona. And if so, says the Mishnah Berurah, halachically speaking, they do not constitute a ona, a cheating in regard to money. Ikamosha chasen marbel lamachutin, meramel lamachutin, just like the chasen is deceiving the machutin, keina machutin merameyu. So too, the mechutin does the same to the chasen. So it's a standoff, says the Mishnah Berurah. Don't get involved.
We say it a lot of times, be quiet.
Yeah. Ulevad kol zeh, and apart from that, sorry, gam kein bezeh kol hapratim maksubim lamala. Again, he mentions the fact that even if even if it would be the case, even if it seems to you that only one side is taking the other one for a ride, you still in any case have to fulfill all of the prerequisites that we mentioned before, 5 plus 3, and good luck to you, says the Mishnah Berurah, says the Chofetz Chaim. Okay, fine. So that's the story with that. Right, that's the story with that. Okay, so now we go to Zion, Sif Zion. We start off with Roy. We haven't heard Roy's voice in a long time here.
Okay. V'hu hadin legalos l'chason es anin anayin hamachasin gam kain dina. What's this mean? What's this abbreviation, please?
Canal, as we mentioned above.
No, as mentioned above, right.
Kamo, it spells out in Lashon HaKodesh Kamo. The Chaf stands for Kamo.
Mm-hmm.
The Nun stands for Nizke, as was mentioned, Lamala. le'el, above, as was aforementioned, I think the lawyers say.
Ah, right. So the same guidelines apply regarding the reverse case of one who wishes to inform the groom about an issue with the mechutin, the bride and or her family. V'hayinu im hu yodea chili hapana mis sheyesh Bahama Shadavos. That is Baham Mr. Dechet. Oh, sorry. Right. That is, if Reuven knows that the prospective bride, Rochel, has an internal ailment, Chaim Misterin Mechachasin that her family is hiding from the groom. Ein al hamagale chashish iso de belilos. Then one who informs the groom is in no way violating the prohibition of refulos. So you can tell the groom.
Yeah.
Ach shelo yechsor b'zeh haparatim as long as none of the above conditions are missing. Bevertim Maim Chaim Saif Katsin. I have reiterated them in Be'er Maim Chaim, paragraph 8, Sif 6. V'chein im nishma al beis hamachachuton shelo ki hu beis beritzus. Similarly, if rumors are heard about the mechuton's home that it is a place of immodesty, and this is a critical piece of information, the dovar zeh yudua shahu sipor gadolo hapasid al yedei zeh hativ lis hanaratso. Because such an environment is known to be a major deterrent to achieving the desired goal of marriage, which is to build a proper Jewish home. Gam kain sorich legilos dever zeh. Then one is required to notify the groom of this matter. Uvozeh ein sorich aparitim agil. And in such a situation, it is not necessary to fulfill the above conditions.
Wow.
So what's the difference between telling the color and telling the chosin?
Well, the two cases that you spoke about so far are the first case was if there is some type of an internal sickness or malady that the prospective bride has.
Mm-hmm.
And on that, the Chofetz Chaim said, there's no Isser in revealing that. There's no Isser Rechilas. That's not called gossip monging to reveal that to the chassan in that situation. But you have to fulfill all the pratim. You have to fill all the pratim, and he's going to be speaking them out in a moment in Sefer. But he says in the second case, if there is not a physical malady, but a spiritual difficulty, and a very serious one, says the Chofetz Chaim, which is an absolute contradiction to the whole yesod of the tachlis of marriage. You can't build a marriage. You can't build a bayis neman b'Yisrael with pritzes. Doesn't work. In that case, the Chofetz Chaim says it's a mitzvah. He didn't use the word mitzvah. He says sorik legalos. You need to be megala. You need to reveal to them, to the side of the chassan, this matter. And over here, it's not necessary to you don't need the pratim that we mentioned. So you're asking why in this case do you need, and why in that case do you not need?
Yeah,
I would say the Chofetz Chaim doesn't explain himself over here. He just said it out very clearly. Halachically, you don't need. I would suspect that it has to do with what he said before, that this is a total contradiction to a bayis neman b'Yisrael. So there over here, it can't be if in fact there is pritzes, if in fact that there is, so then it's obviously a toelis, and there's no need to think any further. Whereas in the case of if the bride has some type of a physical malady, it's not necessarily a contradiction to the establishment of a Jewish home, but so he says it is something that the chassan would want to certainly take into account. If he knew about the information, if he didn't, right, he would want to take that into account, and they're not revealing it to him. So in that case, there's no prohibition, but you have to make sure that that there's a toelis over here, and it's not because of sinna that you're saying that against the family of the kala, and et cetera, all the different requirements that are involved. We'll see them right now. But I think it's because of the severity of the second case. It's a case of pritzes. That's a real problem.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
So we're going to go. We're now we're going to go to Sefer. Okay. You have something else?
I didn't finish. Did I? No, I didn't finish.
Oh, no. Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 lines up from the bottom. I think that's right.
Rakshi is bone?
Okay. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Rakshan is bone im yu devore nishma ma'im. However, one must first determine whether the groom side will actually pay heed to his words. This is a real concern. Devashiru, Shidur, mitzvah, mitzvah, ma'od, shalom, Yishma lo. Because when it comes to shidduchim, it's very common that an involved party will decide to go ahead with a match and disregard someone who is cautioning them about a problem. Yibo hadavor achar kach rak lirvilus. As such, later on, after the shidduch is finalized, one party might inform the other that so-and-so attempted to undermine the match, and the one who was defamed will come in to hate the informer, in which case the informer's words will only result in people speaking ridiculous about him.
Uh-huh. Okay, so that's similar to what we've said previously in cases of revealing information to another side. Is between two sides. You have to make sure that it's not going to result in rechilas afterwards. Even though what you said is not rechilas, but just like we said by a partner, you're gonna talk to Jew number one who wants to partner with Jew number two and tell him that you know that Jew number two is not an honest fellow, and you have personal knowledge of this, and you're cautioning him from getting involved in this deal. And Jew number one, he's not so interested in hearing. He thinks that it's a good deal for him, and he disregards your information. And then at the end of the day, when Jew number two does pull over the wool over his eyes and deceives him and cheats from him, so Jew number one disgruntling says to Jew number two, I should have listened to Reuven Levitt, who told me about you, and that's real rechilas. And so a lot of times you have to know that it's not worth trying to caution the person, because it's only going to result in rechilas after the fact. So that's okay. Okay, Ches, Sif Ches, we go to Roy. We go to Lou to continue.
Okay. Aval im hu mi makir lefi ha inyan. However, if the observer realizes from the circumstances, shahama chutan mirameh lehechasan be'inyan ha-nadan o hamizonos, that the mechutin is deceiving the groom regarding the dowry or the promised financial support, ma'od u'ma'od tzarich lehis yashev b'davar, then it is critical that he ponder the matter carefully. Kodem she yigale zeh lehechasan, before informing the groom about his concerns. Ki tzarich lazeh harbe piratim, because there are numerous prerequisites that must be met. These are, number one, shneyis bonain heitev shehu miramehu be'emes. He must carefully consider whether the menuch mechutan is in fact deceiving the groom. De hayinu she yakir beveirur es tiv o hara. This means that before sharing his concern with the groom, he has to be certain that either the mechutan is a bad-natured person who easily reneges on his promises, o es godel ha'aniuso, or that the mechutan is in such an extreme state of poverty that he cannot possibly honor his commitment. O shishama mi menu be perush, or he heard the mechutan explicitly say, she'eno mavtiach rak lefanim, that he only promised to support in order to make a good impression, but he has no intention to fulfill his pledge. Only under such circumstances may he share his concern with the groom. Below yachlit techef es ha'inyan bidato lacha shov al hamechutan. However, she should not immediately make an assumption about the mechutan. Demipnei shehu eno takif b'ma'amaro. That just because the mechutan is not financially stable, b'vadai lo yitain lo ha-nadan o ha-mizonos shehiv tiach. He certainly will not provide the dowry or financial support that he promised. Dehalo anu roim kama pe amim. For don't we often see she'anashim ke elu mishalmin es ha-sechayavutsam, that such people fulfill their obligations, yoter min haba'alei batim hanivoim, even more than affluent people do. Number 2, Tarich Leida she'ilu haya ha-son Yodea Zeh. Before informing the groom of his concerns, one must determine that if the groom had been aware of the deception, lo haya misa ratzeh lo, he would not have consented to the shidduch. Dif amim harbe matsui she Chasan eno rotze rak. This is in no way a given, because it's very common that the groom just wants lehotzi me hamechutan kol ma shehu yachol, to extract from the mechutan as much as he can. Abal eno talui uze klal ikar hashiduch. But the actual shidduch is not contingent upon this financial arrangement at all. Uva ofen zeh b'vadai lo shayach hat heter zeh lech ule galos lo. In such a case, this allowance to go and inform the groom definitely does not apply. Im lo shehu rotzeh, unless one thinks shedivarav yiyu to'eles lehechatsan, that his information will be beneficial to the groom. Sheyis ya eitz eich lahotzi me hamachutan ba tuchos al zeh. In that the groom will then find a way to obtain assurances from the mechutin regarding his commitments. Number 3, Shemitzar ha-chatzan lo yeh ramina, ramia. One must be sure that there is no deception on the part of the groom. Ve'im gam ha-chatan meramehu be'ezeh inyan sheyeh. Because if the groom is also deceiving the mechutin in some way, yatsa zeh bezeh. The two deceptions cancel each other. Upashut the asur ligalos lo, and it is obviously forbidden to inform him. Ulevad zeh, and aside from these conditions, tzarich gam kain lezeh she'ar hapiratim hanal. One must also fulfill the other conditions listed above in Klal 9 Sif 2. Al kain ein limaher ligalos. Therefore, one should not be quick to inform the groom. Ki im achar she'yis bonein he tev bazeh, until he contemplates the matter thoroughly. He nish lemu kol hadvarim shekat savnu, to ensure that all the conditions we delineated are fulfilled.
Okay. Okay, tests. We have time for tests? Yeah. We go to tests. Alan, would you like to continue with Sif tests? If the shidduch has already been finalized.
Already been finalized. Vahu makir lefi or inyan, and one realizes based on circumstances. Shahama huton you ring ma es echoton va inyan hanador o hamazonos, that the Mechutan is deceiving the groom regarding the promised dowry or financial support. Tului Bozeh, then the halacha is contingent on the following. Imhu ro'eh shedabur lo yis kabalo aboznei Fatan, if he knows that his words will be taken by the groom, Rak or Inyan, the merely as a cause to be concerned about the matter, Neged Hamahutor Shalom yo how or the Ramo so. Meaning that the groom will look for ways to prevent the Mechutin from cheating him. Oh, Shahu Yere'ah She Horton Lo Yazo Ze Ma'atzmo Shum Devor. Or if he can come confident that the groom will not take any action on his own. Be'im al P based in, without the consent of the based in, muta, the gar los lo, then he's permitted to tell him about the matter. Sorry. Shalo Yakasor Shum Pita Pitor Perot Mahari Team Hamavo or Rim Rene Beaver War the West so if however one must take care to ensure that none of the conditions listed above in column line SIP 2 are missing. Gam near Tzorich Lozeh Aparok Hag Aniel. It also seems that the third condition delineated above in the previous SIP must also be met. Namely, that when you must find, you must first determine that there is no deception on the part of the groom.
And you can turn over the page.
Oh, okay.
154 continues.
Yeah. While Imbu were Shedorov, Yiskabalo, Ozane, Hechoston. But if one thinks that the groom will believe what he says, Yaviva Tal Hashid Duf me Atzamo, Aval Zebeli, Shum Ta'anon, and will break off the shidduch on its own as a result, with no justification or explanation. Osa lo that is forbidden to inform him. No, but sorry, Kabatsu call team, because it is unlikely that all of the conditions that necessary in such a situation can be fulfilled. A Yang Bibar Mayim Chaim Sibeir Mayim Chaim. The note is, for even if he hears the Matukin openly says that he does not intend to honor his commitment, Beis Din would not void the shidduch because of that they would only take steps to ensure that he will honor his commitment. Hence, if the groom will simply break the shidduch without consulting Beis Din, he will be doing more harm than allowed by halakha, and we cannot inform him of Matukin's plans.
Okay. Pretty complicated.
Right, there's nothing simple there. Yes.
Right, that's I think they said a few things over from this Ber Maim Chaim Yud Daled. Is there a note over there on this SIF test in the art scroll?
Alan read it.
I read it. Yeah.
Oh, that was what you were reading. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the story over there. That's what they're concluding from the Mishnah Berurah over here. It's got a long Ber Maim Chaim on this matter. Okay. So now we go, and now we We go to 11:30. We got there. So we will say Chodesh Tov. What's that?
Yasher Kochacha.
Amen. And you as well.
And have a good Shabbos.
A good Shabbos.
And Chodesh Tov.
And a Chodesh Tov. Umavorach. Bezrat Hashem. Everything good. Yeah, you heard the shofar today.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Have we started?
Okay, we'll see you on Yom Rishon, Bezrat Hashem.
Amen.
Okay.
Okay. Take care.
Bye.
We'll all see you
Shabbos.
there, I
Good
guess.
Shabbos. Good Shabbos, Roy. Good Shabbos.